Hey, this is Jordan,
Hey, this is Oly.
and this is the Real Cut podcast where we give you our unfiltered take on life.
Hi.
All right, this is our first one.
Welcome in, clients and friends and family and all of you listeners out there.
Yeah.
Welcome.
How are you feeling about our first recording?
Excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me
jittery.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always talk about all of the things and nobody really hears it and we don't really talk about it with other people. So I think it's time.
Yeah, people get to have the fun stories. I think it'll be good too. And then also, I think it'll be good we can showcase a lot of things going on in life and around our town or even throughout the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have some fun plans for this, but yeah, so I mean, just for anybody that doesn't know who you are,
I guess
why
we
don't
should
you
introduce
share a little
ourselves.
bit about you?
Okay.
Who are you?
Hi. Well, hello. I'm Oly. You know that, of course.
I know that.
I'm a 40-year-old. I don't know if I have to tell my age. Well, you know now.
40-year-old
But
virgin.
yep. Unfortunately, I like action figures. I'm a barber. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a triathlete. I'm a father. And those are kind of the main things, that include, as well as like fashion and art and stuff like that. I really love. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of who I am.
Yeah, awesome.
How about you?
The girl version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a awesome husband named Mike,
Yes.
and you know him.
Absolutely. I love Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's amazing.
I have 4 awesome kids.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real estate team. I'm a real estate coach and team leader. And I like to run
Yes.
away from my problems
As much as we can.
and just for exercise.
I love it. It's so true. That's what people ask. They're always like, you run so much, like, what are you running from? And I'm going to have to say that from now on. I'm like, my problems.
My problems. It doesn't work, though.
No,
That's not how it works.
They're still there when
Unfortunately.
you get done. Yeah.
Yeah. We should probably run towards them, but
I guess. That's probably what my
we'll deal
therapist
with
would
that
say.
later. Yeah. And I like music. I pretty
Yes.
much like country, 80s music,
Mm-hmm.
and like metal.
Yeah.
And
Which I
I
think is
really
so
don't like-
interesting because a lot of people don't look at you and they kind of like assume. Right?
Yeah.
The whole like book by its cover. They don't look at you and think metal.
So let me ask you this then.
Yes.
Do you listen to music to change how you feel or to validate how you feel?
Depending. I think I could say both, honestly.
Okay.
There are times, so it depends. So I've been working on feeling emotions, right?
Yeah.
And not just bottling them down.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to work through something.
Yes.
So I found for me and for a lot of people, I think, like your emotions really, they can contribute physical attributes, right? Or you have to get it out. So I go to the gym sometimes and I'll work through an emotion or a feeling, right?
Yeah.
And the music at that time is to work through that or to
Okay.
feel it, if that makes
Okay.
sense, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm sad or angry or something like that,
Yeah.
or even honestly, I work out when I'm happy too.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
that music
Yeah.
will go along with that. You know, it'll be maybe a little bit angrier if I'm a little angry or frustrated, right?
Yeah.
If I'm a little happier, it'll be a higher beat and still fast song, but a little bit
Yeah.
happier, right? We're having
Yeah.
a good day. Now, if I'm caught in a rut and I'm realizing that,
Yeah.
I will, like, say if I'm having a down day and I'm not feeling very good that day, and no matter what I'm doing, it's just not changing around.
Yeah.
Well, there are certain songs that just make me feel happy and feel
Yeah.
good, and I'll put those on to try to change my emotion at that point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have those.
Oh, really?
I have
Okay.
songs I like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm only a validation, and that in and
Okay.
of itself makes me go where I need to go.
Yes, that makes sense.
So getting myself right ends. That's how it ends up there.
So it's a similar, yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
cool.
I like it.
Yeah, so I like music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
so you
great.
can guess my mood.
Yeah, based
you
off
hear
the
what I'm
music. That makes sense.
Like, she either wants to hug me or slice me.
Yeah, one of the two.
So.
And then you have to look at what's in your hand. Does she have a knife in her hand? What is she holding? Is
I
it a
don't
donut?
carry around knives.
No, I know.
You carry around scissors.
I do. I carry around scissors. I have a knife usually on me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great tool. You never know
like
when
for
you're going to use
for
it.
hair or just for
Sure. Yeah.
for whatever.
You know,
That's
I get
scary.
up and I start
didn't
just
know
like,
that.
no, it's not for hair. No, I mean it's just a Gerber. I mean, you know,
okay.
nothing crazy. You know, you never know when there's a box you might need to open or a throat. I mean, one of the two.
Have you ever like gone through security and gotten it like taken?
Surprisingly, so yes and no. I had a keychain knife for the longest time, and it wasn't a big one. It was just really like a box opener kind of knife, right? When you need it. I went to Vegas. Portland Airport didn't catch it.
Yeah.
I went through.
Wow.
Flew to Vegas. On the way back,
scary,
they caught it.
actually. Oh.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Vegas,
like freaky.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally got through with it, no problem.
Ugh.
Everything. It went through all the scanners.
Yeah.
And all that. And then the Vegas
I
airports were
always
the ones
get
who looked.
nervous like through at the airport.
Same.
Like, what if someone like planted something?
Yes. So
I didn't know.
What's one thing that's on this subject? Because I know what you mean. Like, whenever you're walking through airport security, I always feel like I've done something wrong, even though I haven't, right?
I know.
So, like, what is one thing that's like that? Well, it's one thing that you're not doing wrong, but feels like you are. Does that make sense?
At an airport? Or
Anywhere, any situation.
Give me an example.
Okay, so, like, whenever I walk into a store or, like, a mini mart and I'm looking for something specific, and they don't have it, so I don't buy anything.
Yeah.
Every time I walk back out with nothing, I feel like they're looking at me like, what did you steal?
Do you get polite purchases like a gum?
I never thought about that.
Like, or something?
No. So a polite purchase, the idea
I mean, that wouldn't be good. That would be really... So it's good that you don't.
Yeah, but just to buy it because you don't want to look like you're stealing something? Is that the idea?
Oh, like you're afraid that they'll... Oh, sorry.
No,
you're afraid that they'll think you're stealing
Right, because I
something?
walked into their store and then I walked out not buying anything. Why did I even come in?
Oh,
right?
no.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so it's the whole, like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I didn't steal anything, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm doing something wrong. Does that make sense?
Okay. I don't know if I must have something.
There's
I'm
gotta
gonna
be.
think on it.
Here's another one for me. I'll throw a couple out, and then
Okay.
if you like.
But also, you're an overthinker and I'm an underthinker, so maybe I don't have
you just
one.
probably don't then, yeah, because I overthink.
But
everything.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that's another.
that's
one.
a very fair point though, because
Yeah.
I do overthink
Yeah.
everything. That's
Yeah.
like. So I probably do. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're thinking I'm stealing. The guy's like, so what's up with the Dodgers today? Like he doesn't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the case. Okay, so like when you take off a day of work,
Yeah.
right? That normally wouldn't be a day that you take off.
Okay.
Right? It feels
Yeah.
like you're breaking the law or something like that. Like, or skipping school. You know, do you ever get that feeling? Like,
No,
it feels
because it's intentional. I like,
Okay.
well, like actually right now on Thursday, because it's supposed to be 78 degrees.
Oh, wow.
So I blocked out the last half of my day because I'm going to go do
awesome.
something in the sun.
Yeah, that's smart.
So I like won't feel like that because I arranged
You did it.
like
Yeah.
the schedule.
See, that's your
accordingly.
underthinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. I'll feel
Even with
no
me
guilt.
having arranging it, like I'll be like, somebody will message me like, "Oh, are you cutting hair today?" And I'll be like, "Oh, no."
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, like it doesn't ruin my day. I don't want to like oversell it. but-
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll let you know if I have one, but probably not.
Yeah,
I
can't
have
wait.
other.
I'm gonna get
I
a
have
message
other
randomly.
issues that I deal with though.
You're like,
Being
listen,
an
I'm already busy.
underthinker. I don't know if that's a term,
I don't know. It could be.
but
I think we
but I
need
am
it.
not.
If,
Yeah.
if it's not a term, it's a term now.
Yeah. Perfect.
And it's a term of endearment.
Thank you.
Yes.
Or mental
Or mental
issues.
Which, you know,
Which
that's
I
part
have.
of our podcast.
Yeah. I have those.
Absolutely.
I have a few
You're not alone.
extra.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah. God was like making me, and he's like, I'll give her a little extra.
Yeah. You know
She'll be
what?
fine.
She needs some pizzazz.
But he made me an underthinker, so
Right.
so that's good.
It is good. As an overthinker, I think it is. As somebody who sits up late at night, I'm like, was that real perfect? Did it like?
Yeah.
Oh, so there. I don't know if we can mention the people's names yet or anything. It's not in a bad way. And her husband and I are all talking. We're talking about reels and things that are effective on Instagram and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I actually, and you know this, I've actually found a lot of passion in editing.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I like to get my music and my beats right on the point.
Yep.
And he started laughing, and I kind of looked at him like, why are you laughing about this? You
Yeah.
know? And he was like, do you think anybody actually cares or listens to that? And I was like, what? Like, he just, and in no way was he trying to be mean. You know what I mean? I want to be clear, right?
Yeah.
And he was just, but like, it was such great. He's looking at me, he goes, I watch all my reels on mute. I don't watch any of them with volume.
Actually, same. I listen to that's why I do captions, or I like captions. Because it's like, I usually have other things going on, like important work meetings.
Where I love the volume. Yeah. I love hearing so that's such like,
or I'm like, you know, chilling with the family and, you know, we're watching like the dumbest Minions or something and I'm like, I still want to hang out with them, but I might be sneaking like a reel.
That makes a lot of sense. See, I'll throw like a headphone in.
That's probably, I probably shouldn't do that.
So then I can still hear it.
Yeah.
But be aware.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But similar stuff, just different ways of achieving it, right?
Yeah.
So that was a really eye opener for me.
Yeah.
I don't need to overthink this so much.
Yeah.
Like, I can, because there will people who enjoy it and see that. So I don't want to lose that side of me also. But also, when I'm sitting there freaking out that it's not exactly perfect, I can go, or I'm going to care.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, totally. Okay. So, in this, for today.
Yes.
Like, we can kind of dive into what we wanted to talk about today.
Yes, that's right. We got a little off track.
Which we do. We do that. And that's why this is going to be perfect for us.
It's going to be great. Yes.
But, so we're both entrepreneurs.
Yes, absolutely.
Business owners.
Yeah.
And we also do triathlons.
Yeah, we're triathletes.
You gym.
Yeah.
I don't gym.
You don't gym.
I don't gym.
No. That's okay though.
But yes, that is okay. I just don't. It's just not my thing. It's not my thing.
You still get movement in. You're still active in other ways.
Like and so, but we run, and then you're more of a biker than me.
Yes. Yeah.
And neither of us like to swim.
No.
So that we got to get better, but yeah, so it's like, that's kind of one of my, I mean, you'll have to tell me if it's one of your most commonly asked questions, but one of mine is like, how do you find time to work out and do triathlons when you have 4 kids, like a full family, run a couple businesses, like how does that even work? Right. So do you get asked that?
I do. I do. I was going to say, I'm more impressed with you and your schedule. Not to say that I'm not busy or I don't have things to do, right? Because I do. But I only have the one kid, and I share him 50-50 with his mom, right? Yeah. So let's be honest, half the week he's not there, right? Yeah. So that frees up some more time. So like with your kids all the time, and then your full-time job and all that, like it's really hard. But I do. I get asked all the time, and like I'm sure you say as well, like you just have to find the time, that's where my 6 a.m. workouts come in, because at the end of the night, like everybody else says, well, I get off work and I'm so tired. Yeah, we all are. Yeah. And you're either going to push yourself through that tired at night or in the morning, or it's not going to happen. Right. These are very definites. Right. And so it's, it always makes me laugh. Just because like, I think it's wills, and it's willingness to do it. Like, and what you want. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to be working out. If that's not who you want to be, that's fine. Yeah. That's okay. You're gonna have your other thing. Exactly. Yeah. And so, you find what makes you happy.
I am a firm believer that you should take care of your health.
I agree.
And wellness, because it will ramp up your like success and happiness in life.
Oh, I agree in a lot of ways. Yeah. Well, and just longevity too, right? But, I mean, I have guys who, and I'm not going to name any names, but they're my age. They sit in my chair and they're like, well, at my age, all I can do is golf. And I'm like, we're the same age and I just did a triathlon. Yeah. So. It's true. Yeah. You're not that old, bud.
Yeah. And like, and I'm 36. Yeah. And
you look great for.
Oh, thank you. And like, but it's true. Like anybody can do it. We're not special. No. I mean, obviously we're special.
We're very special.
But like we're not. But you know what I mean. Like we're not special. Anybody can do it.
Yes, absolutely.
When I realized like, oh wow, I just ran 10 miles. The first time I ran 10 miles, I was like, amazing? I can run 10 miles. Anybody can do this. Yeah. It's just you have to actually go out and do it and and not quit, you know?
Well, and
then
how
you
many
can do
times
it.
did we fail before we did that, right?
Yeah.
That we had to, not even fail, because that's, I think that's like an aggressive word.
Yeah.
But
We had to work
like,
up to it.
exactly. How many times did we walk, right? And stop. But
Yeah.
we still got out there and did it. Like,
And we got a little bit better every time.
exactly. And that's why I tell
We'll
people.
run a quarter mile longer today or whatever.
Yes. And add in. And we made plans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where, I mean, we've been running every Sunday basically, right?
Yeah.
Give or take Sundays here or there, right?
Yeah.
But for 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of work put in.
Yeah.
And people look, I think.
It's been 5 now.
Has it?
Actually, because
Oh,
it happened
crap.
when I first moved into our current house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So we're on 5
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Almost 5. Yeah.
Almost
Because I think it was at like 4 or 5 months after we moved in. But yeah,
Okay.
we lived in our house for 5 years. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
so we put work in.
So in 5 years, yes, it takes time to build it up. But in 5 years, we are to where we're doing half Ironman triathlons, which are 70.3 miles
Yeah, it's
total
huge.
between the 3 activities.
Right.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
5 years seems like a long time, but I mean, but it's just proof that like you have to chip away at it, you know,
Your
getting
goal.
a little bit better,
Absolutely.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah. The first time we ran, it was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And we ran 6.3 miles, I think it was, right? And now we do that in like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah, exactly.
45. Yeah. So, but that was a build up. You're right. I thought about this also. For anybody who doesn't know what a triathlon is, just as well, a triathlon is a 3-event event, essentially. So you start out, the Ironman we did
Which
was
is an event.
in itself. And the Iron event in a tent. Anyways,
Event in it.
I felt very Dr. Seussy for a moment. It just, it was a cat in a hat.
Yeah.
A fox in a box. Okay, back to the podcast. But so it's you like the Ironman, for instance, it was 70.3 miles total. We swam roughly about 1.2 miles, and then you immediately get off the dock and run up to your bike and get changed and hop on your bike and ride about 56 miles roughly, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Give or take a mile or so.
Yeah.
And then same thing, you get done with that, you hop off your bike, get ready to run and start your run. And that's a little over 13 miles. So we finished with a half marathon, just to put that in perspective.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yep.
So it's a huge
Yeah.
event. Not that any of these by themselves aren't great if you're doing them just by themselves, to give like credit to anybody.
Yeah.
But Jordan and I are kind of the 120% people
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
So one event wasn't enough. We had to do 3.
Yeah. Go hard or go home. And going home isn't an option. So
That's why we're going hard.
yeah.
Going hard.
Yep.
But so it's been great.
Yeah.
And I know I found a passion, even with, because I don't really like swimming. I can swim to save my life.
Yeah.
I can pull somebody else out of the pool too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
competition swimming, I know really, what is the right word for it? Like, humbled me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Yeah.
I don't like swimming at all. I would rather be sitting on the edge with like a drink and a towel and a book and
Just
you know,
taking the
tanning or
sun
whatever.
in.
Like, yeah, that's my kind of swim.
Absolutely.
So,
I get
yeah,
that.
competition swimming is like next level.
Yeah, it is. Where I like being in the water and waiting, you know,
Yeah.
and like being in the water
Yeah.
necessarily, or floating, you
Yeah,
know, and all that.
yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
with you. Like when I was a younger man in Boy Scouts, we used to be like, I bet I can swim across that
When
lake.
you were a younger man
Yeah.
in Boy Scouts. So
Yes.
when you were a boy.
Yes.
Unless you're just like a born man.
Yeah, exactly. I came out and I was like, hey, Mom, what's up? Where's my cigar?
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's like, sup, Doc, you did a great job.
Yeah. Fist bump.
Yeah, exactly. Fist bump. He was like, okay, I like your style, gentlemen. But you're right. When I was a boy.
When I was a little woman.
When I was a man. All right, no. There's a Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh,
When I was a boy.
rich man.
Oh, that's
If
what it
I
is.
was a rich
If I
man.
was a rich man, I could hear it, and I was like, there's a joke here, but I'm
That's not even
dyslexic.
close.
No, like, well, that's my brain, right? So it's like,
I was-
hey, you want a guy singing? Oh, I'll give you a guy singing, but it's not even what you're like looking for.
It's like, thanks, brain.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what did I say to my sister last night? Oh my God, you would have laughed so hard. Like, okay, so she had a dream, right? And then a guy called her, and she has a very specific ringtone for him, right?
This is in the dream?
I apologize. So she's sleeping, and then in real life, the
Okay.
guy calls her, and he has an actual specific ringtone. So
Okay.
then in the dream, she hears the ringtone.
Oh, yeah.
And is like, oh, I'm getting a call. So she becomes lucid, right?
Yeah. What'd you
So
call it?
lucid is the word.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
you're with
lucid,
me.
yeah.
I called her. I was like, oh, so you became like livid in your dream.
Livid.
Livid. Yeah, and she's like, what? No, I wasn't angry. And I'm like, no, like you were aware. And she's like, lucid? Is that what you did? And I'm like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's
You're
so
the
close.
king of switching your letters.
Oh, dude,
and
all day.
words.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Oh, it's so livid.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
a
A livid dream. How many
livid
people
dream.
have you told that you had a livid
Oh,
dream?
so many. I'm sure so many. And it makes so much sense now, like looking back and being like, seeing their face, like you were angry in your dream, like you had a really bad dream. And I'm just like, I was so livid, man. And then I was flying. And they're like, why would you be angry about flying? Like, that
Angry
sounds
flyer.
great.
That sounds nice. Yeah. I'm an angry flyer.
I'm an angry flyer, apparently. A very angry dreamer.
That's good. I know. I should write down when you mix up your words.
You should. We
I
should start
usually
making a
don't
list
say
of them.
anything, but I know what you mean.
And I love that about you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. A lot of my good friends will do that. They'll just be
Yeah,
like,
I know what
oh,
you
that's
mean.
an Olyism.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I should write them down.
You should write them
go
down,
home
though.
and tell Mike, though.
And we could make like a whole, like, even like part of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
A chart.
the
This is what he
Olyisms.
says. This is what it means.
Yeah. We'll have to
I'll
start.
be the translator.
What we'll do is, maybe what I'll do is I'll start writing them down.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is we'll have you guess what I meant.
Okay. Perfect. Yes.
And I don't know if I'll give you the whole sentence.
Yeah.
Because that might be too much of a giveaway.
Okay. Yes, just the word. Can you think of any right
We'll
now?
play with it. But I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Mess with their words, you know. I think maybe you'll start to notice.
What I do is I mispronounce them because
See, I had a question,
I am
yeah.
a reader.
Okay.
And so for so long I've read, and then in my head I have sounded it out but never tried to say
Use
it.
it.
And so then when I say it, I sound like a total idiot
I
because
can
I
see that.
second guess everything, and then I'm like, oh my God. Like
You're
I
like sounding it
swear.
out in action
And
or
then
in
I
real time.
always feel the need to tell people that I know how to spell it, but not to say it. Because it's true, but I'm like, they don't need to know that. Nobody cares.
Right.
Maybe that's the one time I do everything.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
So,
funny.
but yeah, so we run a lot, and we've had some
Yes.
fun things happen.
Had a lot of fun things happen. Like one of the favorite places we love to run, and if you're international, you should actually look it up because it's one of the biggest walking parks in America. So it's not like it's a
You
bad
just
small.
told me that. I didn't know that actually.
Yeah,
before.
isn't that crazy? I learned that as well. But Minto Brown Park is one of the areas we're very fortunate to have in our local area because it's just a huge walking and running path and trail path, and we can just go out there and get lost.
Yeah.
And on one of those times we decided to get lost, we actually did take a trail because we thought
Yeah.
we'd do some trail running.
Yep.
And we came across a sight to see
Yeah.
is a way to describe
By
it.
the way, there were a lot of spiders that day.
So many spiders.
I think that's kind
Yeah.
of why we stopped running down there because there were
tons.
many huge spiders.
Yeah, because we had to stop.
was
It was
awful 'cause
basically
there's
because
so
we were
many
running into
trees.
them, right?
Yeah.
Which was beautiful. That's the downside,
Yeah.
right? The trees provided shade from the hot sun,
Yep.
and they were also gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
But you're right. Every single turn, it was like we were hitting a
Giant
nest.
spiders.
And then I had to go first because you weren't going to do it.
Yes. That is
Which is fine.
accurate.
It was good. Like not in a chauvinistic way, like I'm the man because you're
Yeah.
tough.
Oh, one time I was like running. There's a little nature trail by my house.
Yeah.
And I was running, and it was the same thing. There was a ton of spiders because it was like early morning, so no one had like walked it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I was like already committed. I was in the middle of this trail, and I was so sick of running into spider webs.
Yeah.
I grabbed a stick. And then I was running with the stick in front of
That's
me.
genius.
Like
To catch
like
it.
Napoleon or something with a sword or something. And then I ran into a lady that was eating a sandwich on a bench in
With
there.
the stick? You hit her with the stick?
No, I didn't. But I didn't like run into her. I ran past her, and she was looking at me like I was crazy.
Because she's sitting there eating a sandwich, and then you're a lady running by holding a stick up in front of you.
Right.
Like charge.
I was running really fast.
I wish I could have
so
saw that. to be an insect on the tree or wherever to see you running like that. I'm sure you made her day. Could you imagine that? Like, what a great story.
No, she did not look amused. She did not even smile.
Oh no,
I think she
like,
probably thought I was like.
Well, she was probably like worried at first. Yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, that's
she
the honest.
I was gonna like stab her with it.
Right, like she probably was like, just don't look, and she won't even. Maybe she doesn't even see it. Like she took T-Rex rules.
Yeah,
it's don't move and she can't see me.
And I definitely kept running because I was very embarrassed.
Yeah, of course.
Whew. Okay.
You should have started high stepping. That would have been the only thing that just made it better. Just high stepping as you ran by.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Or maybe just stop and be like, do you know how to get down the rest of this path or where this goes? Just holding it up the whole time. But act totally normal. That would have been so much. Just like, yeah, I'd be like, oh, I just keep going down the path. Awesome. Okay. Onward, and then just ran off.
Yes. In hindsight, there are probably many things that I should have done.
Yeah, but that's so funny. That's still a great story. I can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing this story. And I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yes, so we should have done that with the spider webs. But anyways.
Well, I think we were hitting a couple of them with sticks. But you're right. Like, that would have been a surefire way.
Yes.
To take care of all of them. That's so funny. I mean,
So.
we did run across some sticks, though.
Yes.
If you remember.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I was like,
there were some,
probably.
You're like, we were in the woods. There were trees.
So, yeah, I mean, that was like, it was pretty early morning.
Yes. There was still like.
And it was like foggy.
Thank you. I was going to say dew, but that wasn't the right word.
There was probably dew.
There was dew, but fog is what I meant.
There's there's dew in the air everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. There was aerated dew.
Like...
You mean fog? Yeah.
Yes. Fog.
Yeah,
yes.
That's me. Yeah. So
fog.
There was, but you're explaining it perfectly because you were right. So like.
And it was kind of. I mean, there's big trees around, so it wasn't
we were
like
totally covered.
On the path. It's bright, but in here it was a little bit darker.
Right.
And kind of like freaky. It's kind of freaky in there, but pretty. Like, you know, like super nice.
Well, and there was a little bit of an opening in this area because like there weren't any trees in this area.
So
like
it was a little
up, there was a little bit.
thing.
Yeah.
Which we've seen like deer, we've seen like bucks in there.
Yeah. Cougars.
We didn't see cougars.
Well, I saw a video of a cougar.
Right. They are our cougars there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be fair, you're right. We didn't see the cougar.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, when I went to run one time, had a video who just saw one.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah.
But
that is sound like
I would.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess like I know what I'm supposed to do. Right, you know what I mean? Which is you're supposed to like
make loud sounds
and be big.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would run while you did that.
But you're not supposed. They'll chase you.
Ooh,
that's the thing. Like you can't run because that gives their predator instinct to come get you. So you almost have to like walk away slowly. Because like I'm with you. Like part of me like would be like to run, right? You know, you get yourself away from danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So on this day
bunnies, snakes.
Oh yeah, we see. Yeah.
Yeah, birds.
Have we seen snakes?
Yeah. Little like gardener snakes.
Oh yeah, we have. Yeah. Woodpeckers. We'll tell another bird story later when we saw that big giant bird on the side, just sitting there. We'll tell that one.
It's a giant bird.
But we've seen a lot of wildlife. But
one of the reasons
so we were in this little meadow.
Yes. Well, it was almost like like to think of it like you're walking through. And there's trees. There's tons of trees, and they're almost lined up together. Like they've been all these trees prior when they were planted specifically. Yeah. On purpose, right? So you're going through like it really is one of those forests that when you're looking at it, like you see like I don't know like
it's kind of like when you're in an orchard how they're lined up.
This
is how, but it's pine trees.
Yes. Like an orchard, exactly. Okay, so then you're right because we come out of that, and then all of a sudden there's this opening.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so. All of a sudden we saw like they were how wide were they like an inch or
not in
even diameter?
I mean I would say even smaller. They were like sticks.
Yeah, and
I mean
they
like if you think like
they were sticking out of the ground and they're about waist height.
Yeah, about waist height. I would say like wand width.
And there was hundreds
like if you had
of
a
them.
wand.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of width.
Long.
Yeah, but long.
And the tops of them were all diagonally cut, so they're sharp and like a spear, and they're all
sticking out of the ground.
But like hundreds of them. Yeah. And we like, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, it's been like a couple years.
Yes.
But we looked at each other And we're like freaked out. We're like, is this like a spell?
Well, it was quite obviously put there. Like, it's not like a couple.
Yeah, because then we lifted one up and it had been pushed into the ground.
Right. It was cut. It wasn't like these were like,
we were like
small little limbs
what?
growing out of the ground. It wasn't like a couple fell off of a tree and happened to fall into the ground.
Like
these were strategically placed limbs.
I thought that we were, because we were pretty far out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Not
kind of important.
Not people limbs.
Not people limbs.
But I wouldn't have been surprised because it was.
No, that's what I expected to see next. Yeah.
Like, what did we just walk into? Like, this is like literally like there were witches out here, and they were
conjuring
singing
something
to
up.
the moon at midnight. Typo.
Yeah.
And
but they were, yeah.
And like, what did they do? And what did they mean?
Right. Like, what did that's where I started wondering. I was like, okay,
like,
so
are they going to turn into soldiers?
Dolls? Yeah. Are they soldiers? Like, is this like you have to plant them and they become real or something?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, or what kind of, do they represent people?
Yeah.
Or things, and like they're casting spells on people, and that's where they have to like what could it be?
What's going on?
But because why would you
freaks out?
Why, like, who would go to the middle of a little forest area?
Because we were ways out. We were like a mile or two into this.
Yeah, it wasn't like we took 2 steps off. Like you had to like find you had to find this place.
Yes.
Like, it was deep in it. Like it wasn't like it was just off the beaten path, easily found. And it was so like that was the part that was creepy to me. It was like somebody purposely found this one spot.
Yes.
And then just filled it. Like what?
With
like
little spears.
Right. And like why?
So weird.
Yeah.
And so we were like freaked out. We couldn't figure it out.
Oh yeah.
So I remember I went home, sat next to Mike, showed him the video that I took of it, which I don't have anymore. I don't know why. And I finally started looking at. I mean, we should have just done this earlier. But I looked it up, and someone that's like their little their start. Like, they are from a tree, and that's how people plant that particular kind of tree to start tree growth.
Exactly.
And we just like went in there and pulled them up,
pulled a bunch, trampled around.
Like,
it's an open area, so they're trying to fill that area with trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it was tree planting.
It was tree planting.
Oh my god.
No witchcraft. The only witchcraft that's going on is botany.
Yeah.
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 that's
and we were like,
we totally, like,
there's
idiots.
like 5 less trees now.
Yeah.
From us.
From us. Yeah.
So that was fun.
I mean, that never happened. This is a hypothetical in case anybody in Salem planting trees heard that and you did that.
We definitely
left everything fine.
Yeah, for sure. We even watered it.
Yeah, we watered. We put a little nutrition on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that, and
there's
like,
that. I totally thought it was like a witchcraft. How funny is that? Like,
yes.
But it was like, it's.
It was freaky.
It was the settings. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like the fact that we came across, like, it's early morning.
It's foggy.
It was kind of cold out, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see something that you wouldn't normally expect to see.
Yeah.
Unless you knew.
Like, I expect them to come alive.
Right. Yeah. Like, why would you... unless you know that's how you plant trees, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
Like, well, obviously I didn't.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Neither of us did.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, and then we see so many different things. I mean, trees in general. So, like with the animals, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Like, we love talking about and seeing, like, that's one of the bunnies are my favorite part.
Yes.
When we get to see them and they're little,
so
like, furry.
Cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I remember we see a lot of, like, the woodpecker that one time that was knocking around.
When we go by the river, we see the herons.
Yes, the big tall herons. They're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I know we have eagles out in this area as well that we can see. Or
I've seen bald eagles.
Yes. You're going to call them a bob eagle? Is that what you're
I said bog.
A bog eagle? Is that a swamp eagle? Is that what that is? There's one that's like carrying a lot of weight, so he's bogged down. It's not feeling it today. I'm a bog eagle.
Yeah.
But,
so yes, eagles.
So eagles. Well, they're bald eagles. And I remember that time and I think I still have. I'm gonna have to deep dive for this video because I think we might still have it somewhere. Mm-hmm. But the time that we saw that huge bird. Oh yeah. Just sitting there next to the.
Well, it was
path.
like I thought it was hurt.
Yeah.
And it was huge.
It was so big. Yeah. It was giant. And it was just sitting next to the path, so it had to have been hurt, right? Because I agree with you. Like, normally, they wouldn't do that. Like there was a
it,
time
like,
I saw the
wasn't
owl.
moving.
You weren't with me, were you?
No, but you told me about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because okay, so to touch on that just real quick before the next one, that had happened. I was out doing Pokemon Go with Lyle, my son.
Yeah.
And they and I had been out there, just doing the thing.
Yeah.
And there was an owl, which I love greatly. Just he had his wings sprawled out, and he was just on the side of the ground, and it was a really hot day.
Oh,
so I think he was like thirsty.
Yeah.
And we actually walked up and tried to give him a little bit of water, but he kind of hooted his way off,
Yeah.
up to a tree once we got a little close.
He hooted his way as if he moves a little farther with each hoot.
That's how it propels, right? That's the sound of them, like,
way over here.
yeah. Every time they push their wings down, it just pushes a little hoot out of them, hoo,
Oh, that would be so cute.
It'd be adorable. Yeah. That's how it works. In my mind, in my hearts of hearts, that's how that works.
You have multiple hearts.
Yeah. Well, have you heard of that saying?
Hearts.
In your heart of heart.
Yeah, but it's not hearts of hearts. It's heart of hearts.
You just said it with us again.
Heart of hearts.
Oh, it's not hearts of hearts.
Correct.
It's heart of hearts.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with you.
I promise.
I believe you.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm not the person for getting words right.
Now I gotta point it out for this podcast.
No, that's good.
Because
that's good.
It's very funny.
Oh, they'll pick up on it.
It's very funny.
Yeah, they're gonna see it. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he does do it all the time. Like, how does anybody understand him? They don't.
Yep.
They don't.
Yeah.
I do. You do. That's usually the case. People who've known me for long enough can learn to speak my language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is that the end of the owl
story?
story?
Oh, basically, yeah. So seeing large birds on the side of the path is not an uncommon thing, is what I'm saying.
But it just looked so big, and like it just wasn't moving. But we could see the bird.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
we were running towards it.
Oh, 100%.
Well, we started walking because
we didn't want to scare him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We wanted to get him on video, right? And kind of. So anytime you see a cool animal like that, I think we've done that a couple times.
Yeah.
Like got a couple of animals on videos.
Yeah. Yeah. And then all of a sudden...
You were recording, right? Yeah, we walked up. You pulled out your camera, one of us.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're recording.
And then, like, in the same moment, we saw it.
We realized...
It was a log.
Not a bird.
It was definitely a log.
Just a log.
With a thing sticking out.
A giant, log that was in bird shape.
It looked like it had a head and a beak.
It looked like it had a head and a beak. I totally thought it was a bird.
And video where we're talking about the bird.
That's the best. I gotta make sure I find this video, because in the video, and you guys will see this.
We can put it on the Instagram page.
Right. You'll see us walking up just in awe, and you can hear it in our voice. That's my favorite part of the video.
Yeah.
We're like, this beautiful, majestic creature. And then the sinking of, it's a log.
Yeah.
We're idiots.
It's a log.
It's a log.
I know. I would say probably one of the best parts about running together is that people probably think we're like a couple running.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And we're not. And I feel like I need to explain that to every single person we run by.
Oh, absolutely. It happens. I look at you like my sister, a really good friend, like that, right? So I don't think anything of it. Well, and we've been friends
for a very long time, like 10
over a decade.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we met at work, K Jewelers.
Yeah.
And we got along, and we were always casual friends.
Absolutely.
Like, we
always had fashion to talk about.
Yeah.
You always gave me girl advice, which I loved. Like, I remember when I left K Jewelers, because I left before you.
Yeah.
I was like, can I still contact you for girl advice, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were like, of course. Yeah. And I was like, thank you.
Exactly. And so, like, and then 5 years ago, when I was looking for a running buddy, and your
Facebook post
volunteered, that's when we became like actual good friends, like really close. Absolutely. And so, and it's, just running when we're running, and like we call it our therapy sessions, because we can not only exercise, but we can talk through things in life,
things that are going on, like entrepreneurship and stuff like that.
Yeah, because we've built our businesses while running.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
No, but you're right though. Like, we started running first, and I think I was still at Verizon.
Yeah.
And you were still
working
with just
corporate
EXP.
job.
Your corporate job. And then we both started running. I think we both took our leaps.
Started. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And made those changes.
Yeah. So they were like, and but yeah, I mean, but when we run, people probably, I
Well, they
always
see
see
two
couples,
people.
and if they're the same age, I'm always just like, oh, look at that
Yeah,
cute
they're a
couple.
couple.
Like,
Right.
yeah,
But
so,
my favorite part is like people probably think the same thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then like I'm a single man.
Yeah.
Right? So like
and I am a married woman.
You are, and we'll be running and I'll see like a cute girl who's also running, and of course I'm like, oh, she's a runner, she's active, what's up? She's kind of cute, so I throw a smile out or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or even just being polite.
Yeah.
Because we're on the same path,
yeah,
right? And it's
totally.
just because I do it with guys too. If we see the guys, oh, hi,
Right.
how you
Yeah.
doing? You know, good
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
But the best ones are the girls who look at me and they're like, did you really just give me those eyes with your girl right
Yeah,
there?
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And look at me like I'm
they
some
always
dirtbag.
glare at you.
Yeah, it's just like,
oh my
it always cracks
gosh.
me up. I need to get
And
a
I
running
want
shirt.
to tell them, like, I am not, like, we are just friends.
Just friends, yeah.
And we've talked about getting shirts made.
Yeah.
But then people would be like, oh, they're trying too hard.
Right.
Or something.
No,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah. I still think it'd be funny though.
But yeah. But I know.
Sure. So that way, like, they smile and they see the shirt. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
We
Wait a
can
minute.
get one that says we have friend zoned each other.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
Living in the friend
something
zone.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can always tell when you have looked at the other girl because of the way when we run by, I see how she looks at you.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. But
I've been waiting for them to like give you a look like get a new man guy.
Yeah.
Like give you that look, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But it all happens in an instant. Otherwise,
It's so
maybe they
quick.
would. But
yeah. Well, that's the one
so
thing.
if you
Like
see
I've
us
been waiting.
running, he is available.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. You're working on yourself right now.
Absolutely,
Your business.
yeah.
I know you're not really.
I'm not necessarily out dating,
Yeah.
but I mean, I am available if somebody great came along. You know, you don't want to ever say no to a great opportunity. But
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite parts. But
it is hilarious. I've been waiting I've been waiting for somebody like to see you out in public.
Yeah.
And then to like try to be a great girlfriend. You know what I mean? And then be like come up to you and be like, hey, so like we've seen each other running a couple times and you're a man. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to tell you, but your man has been looking like something like that. And have you just be like, oh, that's not my man.
Yeah. I know. It's bound to happen.
It's
we
gotta.
do see the same people
over
and over at Riverfront.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and
great.
people like it's the same thing too. Like we'll make and I think this will help out a lot too. Like, cause then I even get clients sometimes who will come in, and they don't look in whether they're not like fully paying attention. Cause I feel like we verify in our videos that we're friends.
Yeah.
And show that. Like I don't think we try to sell it any differently. You know what I mean? But it's funny because like guys will come in here and they're like, so who's the blonde?
Yeah.
In your videos. And I'm like, my best friend, Jordan?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, so you guys aren't like together? And I'm like, no.
Like, wow, we can have friends.
Yeah, like
That's
people are allowed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, we're just both awesomely dressed looking individuals. You know? And, you know.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think
it is the exception, not the rule. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
I would say
so. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people. I think there are a lot like we are an exception. I agree. I think you know with the fact that I grew up around a lot of females.
Yeah.
Having out of my 6 sisters, 4 of them were right around me.
Yeah.
2 above, 2 below.
Well, and I had mostly brothers too.
And that's what I was gonna say, right?
Yeah.
So like I think we're able to get along with each other in that instance, and we're both kind of enigmas in that sense as well. Like so.
How do you pronounce that? I think you might have
I
said
said
it
it
right.
right.
I just need to know.
No, enigma.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
In the sense of like, and so when I said people don't look at you and necessarily assume metal, I meant that as a compliment, just as way.
Yeah.
Because I think it's great that like, I think one of the reasons why we do get along is because I think we both fit in this area where, as a guy, I like fashion.
Yeah.
I like things that would be considered softer, right? You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I can go shoot guns. I can spend 5 days out camping without a shower. I can do all these things, right? Like that are manly, right? I can work on my cars. I can like build shelves, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a weird blend where you're also the same for a girl, where you're very fashionable. You know, all your your outfits are always good. Your hair's done. You like to look pretty and everything like that. But at the same time, like you grew up a country girl. You can go out and shooting guns. You can go out camping and do all these things. You know, like you're rough and tumble.
Yeah.
So I think that's been one of those reasons why like we have been able to get along.
Yeah.
Well, also in the fact that like like I love Mike so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's
yeah.
I think that's where a lot of other people fall into an issue.
Yeah.
Where there's alternate intentions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have to be careful of that,
Yeah.
like, in this world.
Well,
so.
yeah, guys or girls. I've had girls that have, like, they see that we're friends, right? And they'll use that as an angle and then try to push past.
Yeah.
At some point. And it's like, hey.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've had that as well with guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, having to be like, dude.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Another thing that we work through in our therapy running
yes,
sessions.
100%.
Like, what do I do? Like, we give each other really good advice.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know?
Well, it's nice to have, and I've said this about you forever when people ask about our friendship and stuff, is that I think I hold your friendship in so value because you do give me such great insight that I don't have necessarily, right? In all areas, not only just as a woman, but like exactly, as a person, like as an entrepreneur in different areas.
Yeah.
Now your women's view is very critical for me. Don't get me wrong, like I love that. Like I love it.
I have been very harsh with you sometimes.
Yeah. No, that's good though. That's here's the thing. Growth isn't comfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and you can either say you want to change and stay the same.
Yeah.
And not deal with the uncomfortableness, right? You know, or you can actually want to grow.
Yeah. I think that's another thing that makes it that we have in common is we both grow. With every day that goes by, we improve ourselves in some way. Whether it's a skill or going out of our comfort zone or something with our business or whatever. So we have that common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
You should always be around people that want you to grow.
Yeah, and challenge you as well. Like I realized, not that every friend needs to be somebody who challenges you. I don't want to say that, right?
But it doesn't hinder you, though. You shouldn't have friends that pull you back.
Or keep you at the same area.
Yeah.
Like, really, like, because I can, not to say, that's why I was trying to explain, because I'm with you. Like, you don't want friends who are one pulling you back. But I also had friends who made me okay being stationary. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? They
made you, like,
I'm trying to think how to say that right. Like, you should always be happy with who you are. I don't want to say that, right? Yeah. But also, you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you should grow.
Be self-improving.
Right, exactly. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So where there are people who, they're not growing. Yeah. They're stationary in their life, right? Yeah. So they're comfortable. And then you get into that same kind of feeling and you're comfortable too, right? And it's like, you almost get sedentary. So you're not necessarily going back,
if you are
but you're not going
people
forward
like
either.
that too much and you give them a lot of weight in your world, then, and they're filling most of the space in your world, that can definitely keep you stagnant. For sure. So you have to weight those people differently and have boundaries with them and maybe limit your time if you choose to keep them in your life.
Yeah. No, and that's the truth. It's hard. Yeah. And it's the worst. I know you've had this happen too. Like you draw a boundary and then you lose somebody. Yeah. And that's a bummer. Yeah. Yep. But that's part of growing, self-improving. Yeah. Which I agree. Like, a lot of my friends, like, you're somebody who, like, I attribute a lot of my growth to. Not that I didn't have a part in it, but, like, you don't ever let me sit or stay, right? Like, you push me. And in ways that I appreciate that, like, you push me in good ways. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And not even sometimes, I don't even think, like, and that's where, like, and I have other friends who are like this as well, who are successful and work hard at their jobs, and they push me too, right? Yeah. Because you look at them and go, oh, look at what they're doing. Look at what they're accomplishing. Like, I want people to look at me like that too, right? And see that. Yeah. And I think that's great. Like, where was I going? I got lost.
Classic. We went down a rabbit trail.
Yeah, we went down a rabbit trail. I was like, shoot, I was trying to tie this back to something.
We'll find some witches down here, though.
Yeah. Or just some people planting trees. I like the witch story, though, so much more. Yeah. Like, I could have
I actually was low-key disappointed when it wasn't witches.
Same. That would have been so much more fun. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, that's a logical reason.
Yeah. Which I do when we do our next episode and we talk about bad dating stories. Ooh, which is always interesting. Yes. There is a story about
witches,
the occult.
Ooh, good. Okay, see, I haven't even heard any of these yet.
Oh, yes.
Because I know you did the collection on it.
I got a couple, yeah.
Good.
So,
I saw some of the people commenting on it. It looked like they might have been good stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that'll be the next one. But yeah, running, exercising. We love
Running.
it.
Yes.
Part of
we're
our
going to
life.
do the Ironman again next year. So we'll be posting. The cool thing about it is you guys will be able to follow us when it comes up. You'll be able to track us, and we'll post all that when that comes.
Yep.
I know there's nothing in the books yet, but there has been a lot of talk about wanting to do more.
Yeah.
And so we'll let you guys know about more and more. And that's
we'll do the Beaver Freezer.
Yes,
at
absolutely.
OSU.
Yeah, and I know there's been talk about the Shamrock Run.
Yeah.
Still need to sign up for that one. Both of them, really.
Yeah.
But it's all coming into play.
I mean, and speaking of self-improving, like, we are not winning these things right now at any, like, in fact, Ironman, we were towards the back of the group.
Yeah,
we finished the race in 7 hours, and it's an 8.5 hour race,
right?
Which is awesome. We just wanted to finish it in time. So
I'm very proud of us.
I'm very proud. But there were people in their 60s, 70s getting it done in 6 hours. You know what I mean? So we were not. So hopefully it's an encouragement to everybody, because it took us 5 years to be kind of slower finishers. But we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep improving, even though we're going to be getting older ourselves.
Right.
You know, I'll be, 37 next summer.
Yeah,
you'll be 41, but that's just, we're going to keep getting better and faster.
Well, and age can't be part of it. I was walking next to a girl around our age. Yeah. At the very end, 'cause my calves were cramping up. Remember? Because you left me. Not left me. That's not what I meant. But because our whole.
Oh, hold a grudge.
Right, I know. What I meant, it's because we had agreed that we weren't even going to run by each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
and then for a minute, I caught up to you.
Right.
And
then my calves kept giving out.
I know.
I really hoped you would have. But that's.
I knew you were going to.
And I did. Yeah, I didn't.
I wanted to run my personal best,
Well, and that was the whole goal.
And I only finished
I wasn't going to normally wait on you either. You know what I mean?
Totally.
We just happened to catch up. Yeah. So yeah, it's not like it sounds so dramatic. You left me all alone. No, but I couldn't keep going. So we wanted you to get your best achievement, right? So you kept running.
Yeah.
And there was another lady who had stopped because she had to walk as well. A lot of people had to do it.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and her father was competing that year, and he was 71, and he had just got knee replacement.
Oh my god.
And I talked to her later. He had completed. He got through the whole way. So I mean, it really is I agree with you. Some people out there are badasses, where I feel like we are as well, because we finished it. Yeah. And a lot of people couldn't even do that.
You're right.
I agree with you. There's still area. I want to get more. I want to be in the 6 area next year.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. We'll get there. We got to just keep training, keep working. But
absolutely pushing hard.
But yeah, so hopefully it's an encouragement to you listening that you can be very busy in life, but it is doable.
It is.
And I'm sure on the next exercise topic,
we'll talk more about it.
We can talk more about what it looks like for each of us, because it's going to look different.
Absolutely. And even for you guys too.
To work that into our day. Yeah.
But it will take effort.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy.
Growth.
Yeah.
Speaking of, so. Yep. Well, I'm excited for our next episode.
I am as well.
Some horrible dating stories.
It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I know. I've been thinking about a couple of my own, and then how to express them without throwing anybody under the bus.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to do any of that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more just for the laugh of the joke.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm very excited to hear the ones that you've collected too.
Yeah. Should be pretty good.
And I think, and then going forward as well, guys, we want you guys to eventually write us in some as well. I would love to hear all of your horrible dating stories.
I'll put the Real Cut email address out there. Perfect. So you can submit your dating stories or anything else that you want us to share. We'll maybe it'll fit in with the future.
I'd love to hear fitness stories also. Yeah, just to put that out there. If you guys have any great fitness stories or anything like that, we could definitely put that out there.
Inspiring, funny, any of it.
Yeah, or even if you have some good marathons or events that you know of, throw it our way. Maybe we'll be in your area at some point.
Yep. So, all right. Well, we will talk to you guys next time, and until then,
this has been The Real Cut,
where we give you our where
That's
we
really
give
good.
you our crazy, messed up, mispronounced take on life.
Perfect.